Sunday ain't Sunday without chicken. Two things I guess I did every Sunday of my life. Go to church and eat chicken.
Don't you ever eat chicken on a weekday?
Only on Sundays.
But if you like chicken so much, why don't you eat it more often?
Because I only eat it on Sundays.
Uncle John lives according to a very strict schedule.
Two things I live by, the good book and the calendar. I got a day's work to do every day in the year. I take care of my work, and the good book takes care of me.
Then you do the same thing every day of every year, is that it? Just like the cows and horses and vegetables.
That's right. That's what the good Lord and old Mother Nature put us here for, to do the job they set out for us.
Oh. Well, I can't speak for the good Lord, of course, but I know a little about old Mother Nature. If old Mother Nature had her way, there wouldn't be a human being alive.
How do you mean that?
I mean, among other things, that old Mother Nature tries to destroy us periodically by means of pestilence, disease, and disaster. That's why the human race has been at war with old Mother Nature ever since it became the human race.
What do you mean, became the human race? Is that what you teach?
No, and I'm not really a teacher. That merely happens to be my opinion.
You make a lot of money?
John, really, I don't think you...
I don't mind telling him. Yes, Mr. Higgins, I make a lot of money as a doctor. But then I'm one of the few fortunate ones.
I'll say. We got one here in town, works night and day. Hasn't got a red cent.
If you had a teacher here in town, he'd be a little worse off than even your doctor. But then the government doesn't pay them for the patients they don't treat or the children they don't teach.
Oh, you mean like I get paid for not growing some crops? I never could figure that one out. But then, never asked too many questions about it. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. You?
I never look any horse in the mouth.
Hmm. Well, I'm going back to working on my books. Then I'm going to sleep a while till it's time for my radio programs. Off my schedule today, income tax. I ain't complaining, though. Got more deductions than I thought. Doc, do you mind if I put you and your friend down as a couple of feed salesmen?
Flattered. Just don't call me Doc.
That way I deduct the whole dinner. Every little bit helps. I write it all down in a book. Most of my equipment don't cost me a thing, writing it off year by year. What's it called, Arthur?
Depletion and depreciation.
Yeah, that's it. Means it's running down. Don't work so good as it did.
One thing about teachers and writers and such, they have less bother with their income tax than farmers and oil well owners.
That's so? Why?
Because their equipment is talent and a highly developed mind. And when they run down and don't work so good as they did, the depletion and depreciation can't be written off their income tax.
See what I mean? What's so smart about 'em? Don't play the radio loud while I'm sleeping, Arthur.
No, John. Deborah, why don't you show Dr. Pretorius the farm? I'm sure he'd be interested.
Just a lot of depletion and depreciation, that's all.
That's it, before it's all written off.
I'll get a sweater and meet you outside.
How old were you when you learned to walk?
I did pretty well by the time I was 4.
When did you leave the farm?
I was 16.
It couldn't have taken you 12 years to make up your mind.
You enjoy music, Mr. Shunderson?
More than anything.